You should make Jason watch Love Island with you. There's no chance in hell. A literal shitstorm, like the pasta attachments for Play-Doh.
Put a hat on your baby and put a sock in your mouth. Oh my God, a 21-year-old mum, and oh my gosh, how good she. Meeting her was just like, no, this is everything.
That's your baby girl.
And then I just immediately started calling every cast member. Like, you're still gonna like be in my life, right? Like, I was really, really scared that I was like, it was over.
Not gonna lie, Finny finally got on the beach. We were very curious about whether or not she was going to like the sand because she doesn't particularly like grass between her toes. And it turns out we got a little beach baby. I'm very excited. Let's get this podcast started. Welcome back to Not Gonna Lie, a Wave original brought to you by DoorDash. I'm your host, Kylie Kelsey. I'm 5'11" and married into a similarly tall family. I'm familiar with dot cakes because I saw them on the internet. That's right. They hit my For You page because I'm cool and young and hip. Yep. So I made one. A couple. I made a cup. We made it 3 nights in a row and they were delicious. It's like crunchy cake. It's actually very tasty. I don't know that I would wait in lines for them for that long, but they were delicious. And I'm still recovering from a very recent crash out. I am very particular about the kitchen and food preparation and in particular dishes. I love my dishwasher and I love running it on sanitize. That's my favorite setting. I love heavy duty and I love sanitize. It makes my heart happy. I like to basically power wash my dishes and then heat them to a temperature that is going to annihilate anything that could possibly be on them. Here's the problem. Last week, I got an error code on my dishwasher. The error code suggested that the heat pump was no longer functioning. So I called the repair service and they very nicely came out. The very nice gentleman said, I'm going to have to pull out your dishwasher. I'm going to have to flip it over to access the heat pump. Then I'm going to replace it. Then you should be good to go. Wrong. What happened then? A waterfall of dog food was being stored inside of the dishwasher. And to make room for their storage of dog food, they decided to chew every wire they could find. Who's they, you might ask? Those, I was going to go so hard on curse words. The rodent, aka the meow, is what I call them to make them less threatening to me. My kids know them as meows. The mice. Needless to say, I was on the phone with Queen Emma while I was angrily bleaching the entire kitchen floor because there was mouse droppings. And I don't want hantavirus from other people or the authentic way through rodent feces. In your kitchen. I hate mice. They just, their little naked tails. This is not a matter of cleanliness. I want to be clear on that. There's going to be so many people with opinions on this. They have mice in their house. You probably do too. The fuck? No, you can't keep them out. We're going to figure this out. It might maybe end up in a situation where there is a feline resident. Now that we went on that ride, I still am crashing out. It was bad. It was bad. Oh, it was so bad. Oh, thinking about it is making my skin crawl. Okay, let's get into today's episode. Coming up, I'm going to talk about the most ridiculous blowout situations I've been in with my children, how to be the best aunt or uncle ever. And after that, I'm going to be joined by someone I have no business speaking to. Actress Millie Bobby Brown. We're going to talk about all things motherhood, Stranger Things, and the importance of telling people to fuck off. Also, Enola Holmes 3. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But before we get to that, we got to get to the most fiery, most no bullshit real one comment of the week we've ever had, brought to you by Peloton. That's right, real ones. We had a couple questions for you last week and you answered. It was a clear hell yes to a monthly adoptable animals segment, which I am very excited about. And the most emphatic hell no I've ever seen in my life to Love Island. There are over 600 comments on YouTube and roughly 87% of them is some version of fuck no, do not watch Love Island. Absolutely not on Love Island. Please, I beg you, no Love Island. I love you guys so much. I love you guys. I think you're amazing. I think that this is women supporting women. And I am so happy to finally pull out a win when it comes to our fan questions, me against Queen Emma. Thank you guys for this. This is the one that really mattered. Queen Emma wants me to defend Love Island a little bit because people are being harsh. But I need to remind you guys that I have built my TikTok algorithm brick by brick. And I got the clip of the two individuals saying "Go Birds" to each other. That was beautiful. Okay. And then I got multiple people saying, hey, I'm going to have to sit my millennial ass out on this season. I'm not doing it. Much to Queen Emma's dismay.
Your loss, you know?
It's not my, it's legitimately your loss.
It's literally my loss. It is literally my loss. Lost the poll.
It is actually your loss.
I'm not used to losing these polls.
How's it feel?
Not great. Not great.
I'm so glad.
I thought I would win. I knew it was going to be close, especially because of the way you set it up.
Yeah,
being that you wanted everyone to defend you, but it's fucked up.
Once again, I just want to reiterate, you lost. 52% of real ones said, no, we are not watching Love Island. I love that for me. I will say real one, JJ Rude 13 did have an interesting idea. You should make Jason watch Love Island with you. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no chance in hell. I have met so many people that have told me that they watched Love Island and that their significant other actually got more into it than they were, or that they were locked in and waiting for the new episodes and they were invested. It wouldn't be my husband. I'm telling you right now. It would not be my husband. If you truly want him to watch Love Island, I'm going to need you to go over to the other podcast and comment that shit on there, because I'm not conveying that message.
What if you both watch it the next time he's on? Not going to lie.
Not. Absolutely not.
He watched Twilight.
Are you watching this season yet? Emma, people are talking some mad shit.
Yeah.
Mad shit.
Maybe I'll agree with them. But hey, if you want Jason and Kylie to watch Love Island, you let us know right in the comments. I'm sure he'll do it.
Yeah, let us know in the comments that I don't read.
That'll convince them.
That'll get me. That's what's going to be that's going to do it. Absolutely what's going to do it. All right. That's it for Love Island. Woohoo! Like legitimately that's it for Love Island. And Real One Comments of the Week, brought to you by Peloton. Next, it's Doomscroll of the Week, brought to you by Oura Ring. The world's smallest smart ring is here. Guys, look at her. This is my Oura Ring. This is the old Oura Ring. You can see it's a little beat up because I was not nice to her. Look at the difference on that. Look at me. I'm an influencer. She is, I mean, come on. Nice. Very excited about this. All right. First up on Doomscroll, a literal shitstorm is about to strike for this mom's tiny human, and we're all on the edge of our seats. Queen Emma. This says, my baby hasn't pooped in days, so I dressed him in white and took him in public with no extra outfit. I'll update. Now, she's doing all of the right things, okay? She is tempting fate. Not only through the white outfit or through going out without any additional outfits, also putting them in a carrier, okay? My girls for some reason loved to capitalize on an opportunity where there was no room for it to go. Okay? Saucer seat, top choice. The baby Bjorn little bouncer, every single time. I feel like it was the baby equivalent to a squatty potty. Don't worry. This mom, she's a kind and loving soul because she gave us an update and it's good. Queen Emma, the clip.
You can see where we're at right now. The blowout was of a diabolical nature. What seemed to do the trick was putting him in my favorite sleeper, Bamboo from Wildbird, and it was white. Sat him in his bouncer and drink some coffee. Having my coffee, I told my 4-year-old, you know, why don't we go to Barnes & Noble's today? So let's get a coffee, let's walk around a little bit. And while I was making those plans, my 3-month-old heard me and said, you know what sounds better? Why don't I just shit everywhere really quick and then we can go to Barnes & Noble's.
Perfect. I'm telling you, every time the baby ends up with something firmly against their butt. That's the key. I don't know about your babies, but mine, when the feeling struck them, gave an enthusiastic push. Guys, we're talking at the very least up the back. Okay? If you're lucky, out both sides, like the pasta attachments for Play-Doh. You're welcome. This is repulsive. We're going to have to bleep all of this out. Godspeed to that mother and to everyone else who is waiting on a poop, because that's when you know it's going to be bad. When you're waiting on it, when you're like, we haven't been there in a few days. Yikes. And last scroll from one sleep-deprived mother to all the others out there, or those who have been there before. Does it get better?
You know what sounds bomb right about now?
She's tearing
8
up.
hours of uninterrupted sleep. That's all I want. I'll even take
Okay.
6.
I feel this in my
5.
soul. I say,
Sleep.
any chance I get to talk to a new mom, that I think sleep deprivation is one of the worst forms of torture. I still remember when Wyatt wasn't sleeping and I would have almost like hallucinating during the day or completely forgetting things, or it was crazy. And you just want to sleep and your body and your brain needs sleep. And yet you're still running on autopilot because tiny humans. Finn, our youngest, is 14 months, almost 15 months. She is doing a much better. She was never a terrible sleeper. She's doing a great job. Nope. I didn't say that, universe. I didn't say shit. I didn't say a thing. Let's ignore where I was headed and let's figure out how I'm sleeping. You know how I can find out? Is my Oura Ring app. Now, I love this because it not only tells you about your sleep, it also tells you about your activity. It tells you about your readiness. I have mine synced to my Natural Cycles app, which is in conjunction with your Oura Ring readings. I found my Oura Ring to be incredibly helpful when I had little babies, because sometimes, like we were just talking about with a little bit of like amnesia and hallucinating, you forget when you woke up for feeds or how long you were up. Let's see if I can do influencer things. Let's see. I can see when I was awake. 6 hours and 22 minutes. I was out of bed at 4 a.m. for a little while. There was a dream situation I had to deal with. We had to talk about it out loud so that it can't come back. Everybody knows that. We are a house that believes in sleep training, but I just want to make sure that my kids sleep in their own beds because I think that that bodes well for everyone's sleep. So yeah, we tried our best to sleep train. And for the most part, I think it worked. I will say, I do think it's very funny that at any given point, if your kid who was previously sleeping is not sleeping and you Google it, suddenly sleep regression. We're in a sleep regression. Oh, how old are they? My kid's not sleeping. How old are they? 9 months, sleep regression. 15 months, sleep regression. 18 months, sleep regression. Oh, are they learning something new? Yeah, they're a freaking baby. Sleep regression. What? They have a sleep regression every time they learn a new skill? You're kidding. You're joking me. No wonder we're always in a sleep regression. What the heck? Well, that does it for Doomscroll of the Week, brought to you by Oura Ring. Moving on, there were so many questions from the real ones last week. We still have some bangers left. So let's get into a brand new edition. Ask Me Some Things, brought to you by DoorDash. Because Ask Me Anything needed boundaries. First up from Rachel Fox, how can I be the best aunt ever to my niece? Don't have kids of my own. I don't know what to do. Oh, I know. Be present and let them get away with shit that their parents will not in a safe way. And that about sums it up. You are allowed, you have aunt, uncle, grandparent privilege. That's what I call it. You are allowed to spoil them to some degree. So definitely just be present, love on them, and you can spoil them a little bit because that's your right as cool aunt. Also, take her off of your sister's hands. Is it your sister? Take the child places. Yep. Next question from Real One Danielle. After pushing out babies, do you pee a little when you run? And how do you stop that? So I feel privileged that I did not experience this. I would pee a little every time I stood up out of the car when I was pregnant with Bennett. Literally every single. When I hit 6 months on, I peed a little every single time I stood up out of the car. So there's that. But I don't have an issue after pregnancies. One of the things that I would recommend, being a completely minimally informed, non-medical opinion, I think that means that you should do some focus on repairing your pelvic floor. From Killian, would Jason consider a large indoor cat like a Maine Coon? I love Maine Coons. I think they're beautiful. I think they're amazing. I love the little tufts on the tops of their ears. They're incredible. I think they're a very dog-like cat. I also think a ragdoll is a very dog-like cat because they're just fucking along for the ride. So the problem with both of those breeds is that we got long hair. And I don't think Jason's going to go for that. But I'm willing to take a whack at it. And last one, dream guest, dead or alive. Oof. Where do I start? Let me start with Pink. She did an outstanding job hosting the Tonys. And whenever she wants to come on a podcast, we will take her. Please and thank you. I don't even know. Guys. Rihanna, Beyonce, Dolly Parton, Quinta Brunson, because Philadelphia. Guys, I got any on all of it, okay? I'll take, just come through, guys. Come through, okay? And you tell us what we talk about. I'll talk about anything you want. Come on. Come on. We could do it in person. I'll go somewhere. Not terribly far. I'll go somewhere. Okay, that's it. And that does it for Ask Me Some Things, brought to you by DoorDash. Coming up, I'm about to be joined by Millie Bobby Brown right after these messages. Being a person is tough enough these days, let alone being a parent. That's why I use DoorDash, because when life gets crazy, DoorDash helps bring some order to it. Like this past week, when I needed to prove a point. So I DoorDashed ice cream for everyone but 2 of my children. I was trying to prove a point that there are consequences. And so when multiple people wanted ice cream, I ordered it for the ones who had their listening ears on. So DoorDash came in clutch with that one. Real life needs real relief. That's why DoorDash is there for whatever you need, whenever you need it. Life with kids is wildly unpredictable. No matter how much parents try to plan, there's always going to be chaos. Being able to offload a few to-dos and give a little more time to focus on yourself and your family is huge. We all know life gets crazy. DoorDash just helps bring a little order to it. Order now. As a slightly disorganized type, who are we kidding? As a very disorganized type C mom with 4 kids and 2 dogs, it's important to carve out just a little bit of what I like to call nobody needs me time. One way I use that very small window of time these days is by doing a workout right on the Peloton app. I absolutely love the fact that if I know I only have 20 minutes, I can find a workout that fits that time perfectly. Peloton helps you unlock that joy through movement with their new cross-training Tread Plus powered by Peloton IQ. It provides intelligent strength coaching so you can stay in the moment. Peloton IQ sees every rep, reads every movement, and coaches you through it in real time. Plus, when you're racing against the naptime clock, you can get in your hot girl walk and strength training with one smooth spin of the swivel screen. No friction, no figuring it out, no interruptions. It's running and strength training without missing a beat. I love all of the instructors, but sometimes you can even just pop on there for a just ride or just run, and that is good enough. Let yourself run, lift, fail, try, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com. The real ones may have noticed on this show over the years, I'm constantly wearing my Oura Ring, and that's because I genuinely love it. I originally bought an Oura Ring because I wanted to know about my sleep and how I was doing overall. And it has definitely allowed me to have insights into that on a daily basis. Oura Ring 5 is the world's smallest smart ring, 40% smaller than the previous generation and more powerful than ever. I love the fact that my last generation Oura Ring was so comfy that when I wasn't wearing it, I felt a little naked. This ring is even smaller and lighter. It is itty bitty and cute. It is cute. Look at her. She cute. It helps me with tangible outcomes, better sleep, enhanced recovery, and greater stress resilience. Plus, it has up to 1 week of battery life. Charge once a week and never miss a night of data. And that is the most important part because I can remember. And it's available in 6 finishes. This is my gold. Look at her. She cute. Learn more about the world's smallest smart ring and discover how Oura can help you better understand your health at auraring.com.
This is my all-time favorite podcast ever. Like, I'm not saying that. Like, I watch every episode. I love it. So this is really like, I specifically was like, I need, like, if she will have me, I would love to go.
Millie, this is not waterproof mascara. Stop.
I know. It's funny. Like, my husband will be like, Millie, you've already watched that episode. I'm like, I know.
Stop it right now.
Yeah. I'm a huge,
welcome.
Thank you. Also, your babies. Oh my God. When they come on, I cannot. They are so delicious.
They love to insert themselves into any situation.
That was me. And I'm now a child actor. So,
I mean, our oldest recently had to do something for school where it was like, dress up as your future self. And she was like, a rock star. And I was like, okay, but we could pick like a nurse or an artist mostly because I had those things in the house as dress up items. And then it was a little more straightforward. And she was like, nope, a rock star. And then she dug her feet in and then she was a rock star. She wore a sparkly cape to school.
My father-in-law would be proud. Mm-hmm, he would be proud. Mm-hmm. I love that. Yeah, no, you have to, that was me. I wanted to be Hannah Montana. And my parents had to break the news that wasn't an actual job, which I was really pissed about. But then I found my own Hannah Montana way. There you go.
Perfect. Okay, I'm going to intro you and we're going to get right into it.
Okay.
Let's see if I can read this morning. She's the Emmy-nominated and SAG Award-winning actress you know from her hit show Stranger Things and her incredible mystery movie series Enola Holmes. And we're all about to get to see the newest one because Enola Holmes 3 comes out July 1st right on Netflix. She's also a fellow mom, animal lover, and now she's officially, not gonna lie, it's Millie Bobby Brown. Welcome to the show!
I just got fucking chills.
I'm so excited. We have so much to talk about.
We really do.
First of all, I have to tell you, because Stranger Things, fucking perfection, insanity, right? Like so good.
Thank you.
Every single time I think of it though, all I can think of is my 6-year-old, now 6-year-old, but when this happened, she was not 6 years old. Maybe she was. My husband, late at night, watching Stranger Things in the living room.
Okay.
And the next day, our 6-year-old comes downstairs and she's like, I had a bad dream.
Oh, no.
I'm like, did you really? Yeah. I was sitting on the steps watching the show. And I said, what do you mean? She was like, I was watching the show Dad was watching.
Oh,
I said, well, what show was Dad watching? She said, something scary. And I had to then text my husband, be like, what were you watching last night? And he was like, Stranger Things. And I was like, oh, well, so was Wyatt. And he was like, I had no idea she was on the steps behind me.
Stop! Demogorgons are scary. That's horrific.
It might take her a couple years.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to come back around on that one.
Yeah.
But now every single time I think of Stranger Things, I think of the mental image of her just sitting at the top of the steps like,
sweet baby. That is really tough. I wonder what recently or like a long time ago.
No, not that long ago.
Oh, okay. So it must have been like the last season, which was
I think so.
I think quite scary.
She caught a good one. To be fair, she doesn't like anything that's even like on the cusp of scary.
Oh my God.
So
I love that.
But it just cracked me up that like she did not say anything to my husband who was sitting. I mean, we live in a split level. She's like 7 steps away from him, directly behind him. And didn't say a word.
That for her. She's like, and then she went back to bed, which is kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I could never have done that as a child. I was really I still am very codependent with my parents and like have serious codependence. So I would be like, I'd have to make myself known.
Yeah. She didn't. And she told me the story the next day.
What about your other babies? Are they happening? Like, are they able to tolerate that? Like any of them?
Our third would. Our third would be like, I'm gonna hop in there. Well, speaking of My Little Muffins, I want to officially congratulate you on your little muffin.
Thank you.
How are you finding motherhood so far?
I love it. Like, and I think for everybody who was like, oh my God, a 21-year-old mom, and oh my gosh, how could she? I think, well, I'm having the most amazing time. It's literally, my husband and I say all the time, but it's like going from black and white to color. Like, it's just, everything feels complete and perfect in every way. And don't get me wrong, it's full of, moments of like, oh my, what do you do in this situation? Or, but it's the most amazing thing ever. And I think it's a huge responsibility, and raising a daughter specifically. I know people were like, what about raising a son? It's like, no, I of course, every child is a responsibility. However, I do think raising a daughter, coming from my experience of being in having a really public childhood and getting criticized as a girl and as a woman so frequently, I just take it very seriously to raise a girl that can be proud of who they are and be confident and embrace it. Just coming from my experience specifically, I think it was like really kind of my goal to just provide a world where she feels really safe and loved and nurtured and embraced. And that's what my parents did to me. So I think that's just, and that's why I am the way I am, because I was always just encouraged to speak my mind and be myself. So my daughter the other day, she's really into like, just for no reason. Yeah. And I do it back. And then we start kind of having a little bit of a debate. Yes. And I love it. And Jake is like, I love this because you're fully encouraged. I'm not shushing her. I'm fully embracing the fact that she's telling me something in a really passionate way. I don't know what she's saying, but I really hope it's kind of life-changing.
Now, you mentioned that you have these moments of like, what do I do?
Yeah.
I want to be abundantly clear. Doesn't matter how old you are. That's one of my biggest realizations of motherhood is that nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. No. Nobody knows. We're all winging it.
And
We're
your
all
baby
figuring
knows
it out.
Your baby sometimes looks at you and they're like,
they can smell fear.
Do you know what you're doing? And it's like, she's taking me on.
1,000%. She's calling you on the carpet. She's like, you seem like you don't know.
You seem like you've never seen a poop this green before. What are you talking about? And I'm
that leads me right to my next question. How many things have you Googled?
So
do you hold back?
I do.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. My husband says, Mill, don't be a Google warrior. And I'm like, you're right. And it takes everything in me to be like taking a picture and like searching it and being like, does this look good to you? And then I realized after about 6 months, like I would say a good 6 months, you're like, anything with the baby, it's anything is a free for it's that color like of poop or that weird like twitch that she does is just because something's spicy. You kind of are like, oh, I'm starting to understand that like anything goes. They're all different. And so you can't Google something and hope that you're going to get the answer. You're not. Like every baby is different. And I think the key in that is use mums as your Google. Like if you have mum friends, just say it to them because they'll be like, oh my God, like they did that.
That happened to me.
That happened. Or actually something even weirder happened and you're like, what the fuck? Like I've never heard of that before. So it really does help just talking to other mums. I wasn't huge on that in the beginning because I was like, I don't want to compare because I'm going to get stressed. Like if she's not doing something, but actually it's the best thing for me. And I love going to my music classes and like talking to the other mums about everything.
That I'm so proud of you for not searching it because
do you still do that? Surely not. You're on number 4.
1,000%. The number of times I have Googled. Now, granted, I have studied these charts. I'm not kidding. Studied these charts. The number of times I've searched them. I have searched poop charts so many effing times. I'm not trying to be funny. I truly have searched. Yes. To see the color and the texture and to find out if it's normal or to find out what's going on. Yeah. And finally on the 4th one, like we've had a kind of crummy stretch here with diaper rash.
Okay.
But I know now I can't wait for me to say this on the podcast and the medical experts to get in the comments like, you sound like an idiot. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to need you guys to think what would be helpful. Yeah. And you saying I'm an idiot, not helpful.
Doesn't help. Yeah.
No. When they're teething and they have like so much excess saliva, sometimes that can cause a little diaper rash.
That's true. And diarrhea.
Yes.
Teething, every symptom on the planet. It's first of all trash. Yeah, 100%. But like if she's doing something even remotely weird, they're like, that's probably teething. I'm like, what?
But I have searched poop charts.
You have to.
Repeatedly.
Yeah. It's really all about problem solving. But the problem solving right now is like, okay, I know you really want to do that, but we can't. So let's problem solve. Let's figure out another solution for you to be happy. Or problem solving in clearly you have a stomach ache. What has triggered that? Now we need to open an investigation. Strings are coming out and Enola Holmes is coming in. And I'm just like, I'm feeling very passionate about figuring out what the fuck is going on.
You've been training for this, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. The one thing I will say, my husband and I were talking about phones and like when he got his first phone, I got my first iPad when I was like 8 years old, which I think is insane. The iPad 1. And I was saying, oh my gosh, what happens when our daughter kind of, what age is that, and what does that look like in 15 years? I don't know. And I heard your take on the kitchen phone and I loved it. I was like, stealing that. That's mine. That's happening 100%.
there's as with everything, there's internet trolls that are like, good luck. I can't wait until she's 12 and everybody in her class has a phone. And I'm like, guys, I don't think you understand. I came from the house where my mom regularly said to me, well, I'm not so-and-so's mom.
Yeah.
I'm not your friend. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be your parent.
Yeah.
That's the house I was raised in.
Yeah.
I've been trained for this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Period. By the way, I don't care that Emily has a phone. I actually don't care. Like, it's not happening for you. So you better get over it, because you're going to be sobbing the whole summer if that's the case. Like, I'm 100% going to be and have been the daughter that has been like on the receiving end of like, it's not happening. So you might as well come to terms with it. And I feel it's being on, and also you now, like on the receiving end of what comes with having a phone. It's actually, I'm protecting you from the exhaustion of receiving messages and calls and emails and awful bullying and hate. It's truly, it's the worst thing I carry around with me all day long.
It's terrible.
It's awful.
If I could go back to my LG flip phone, I would.
I had an LG flip phone.
Because they're the best.
Recently, just for fun. Yeah, Kylie, this is different.
Sorry,
you had it for like actual logistics. I was like, oh my God, this is so nostalgic for everyone else.
Cute. Let me hook it over my pocket.
I was like, this is fun. I'll have this. And so, yeah, it took me ages to text people on it. So I was like, I can't do this anymore.
There's nothing more satisfying than hanging up a phone call by shutting a phone.
Oh my gosh, divine. By the way, when my daughter and we pretend to go on the phone, I'll be like, hello? No. Not today. And my husband goes, why do you answer the phone and you're playing with her, but you're immediately angry? And I was like, clearly that's how I feel every time someone calls me. It's like, nope. Not happening, not today. Yeah. And so I'm teaching her to basically say, no, we're not doing that. And he's like, now I have to be like, hello, how are you? Oh, I'm making up a scene in my head that's just not realistic. And so I've really had to catch myself, because I've learned that I answer the phone and I just immediately start berating.
Well, it's nice that you came to that realization, because I only came to the realization that I'm having very serious phone calls when our third was in the corner playing by herself. No, I cannot today. I am not doing that today.
Yeah.
I'm like,
she's having
who are you talking to?
Yeah. Her agent. She's negotiating a deal, and it's going to be amazing. Yeah.
It was outstanding. She was firm. She held her boundaries, and she did it with her whole chest, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, 100%.
I said, that's my kid.
I also think it's the cutest thing when
it's adorable. I'm not interrupting.
Oh, absolutely not. Enjoy your playtime.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about the journey to motherhood in so many ways on the show, but something we have not touched on a lot, and I think it's so important to highlight, is adoption, if you're open to talking about it.
Yeah.
You and your husband announced that you adopted your little girl. Did you always see adoption as part of your journey to motherhood?
100%. Yeah. Always wanted to adopt. It was always part of like my childhood dreams. Every time I was at home and I was 5-6 years old, my parents were like, you had your baby dolls, they were all adopted. I never had any of them. I never pretended I was pregnant. And it's not because I don't want that. I hopefully one day that's in my future. But for me, adoption was always a part of my future. Adoption is love. Adoption is forever. And like, there's so many things that I have learned. Before I took so many courses, in adoption, what it looks like on every other end of the spectrum, on being, a social worker. I went to school to be a social worker for 2 years, and then I switched to being a vet because I love animals. But like, truly, I loved the aspect of adoption in my social work courses was everything, and so meaningful and important. And then I also learned what speaking to and reading a lot about being a birth mother and what that journey is. So for me, my husband and I took a lot time to focus on what that story and what that journey looks like, and then we embarked it. So I think that it's multifaceted, but yes, it was always part of my journey.
Now, for anyone listening who's considering adoption as part of their family's future, is there anything that you'd want to share with them?
Every journey looks different. Waiting for the call is the hardest part. And I always just say, like, I love meeting other adoptive parents. Like, it's my favorite because I just feel like we're one. And it's just a really different experience. However, I just would always just encourage you to understand every journey is different. Don't compare yourself to just like statistics, and don't compare yourself to other families. And like, your baby's out there and you'll find each other. And I'm a big believer in that. And that's something that I prayed for every night. And I was just very, very grateful that our journey and our baby was out there, and we found each other.
Now, did you know that phone call was coming?
No.
Like, you don't have any anticipation? It is really just a cold call.
Yeah.
Your baby is waiting for you.
It's a conversation, and it's just really, like, for me, I think it's very important to just always know, like, to trust your gut. Like, for me, my gut was like, yeah, that's it. That's my gut. That's my gut.
So exciting.
Like, and I think that it's just welcoming any baby into your life. My maternal instincts just kicked in. I'm an aunt, and my maternal instincts like kicked in. I was like, this baby is like I will protect this baby at all costs. So being a mother, my maternal instincts, like, meeting her was just like, no, this is everything.
That's your baby girl.
And the bond immediately kicks in. For me anyway, it really did.
That's so beautiful. This show is sponsored by Liquid IV. There's nothing I love more about summer than going down the shore. I love that my kids get to experience what I like to refer to as the giant sandbox, aka the beach, the same way I did. Building sandcastles, absolutely digging a moat, digging a hole that you can fill with water and pretend that it's a pool. And while we're going down memory lane here, Liquid IV just introduced a new flavor perfect for the summer, Ring Pop. I genuinely have to hide these packets from Elliot because as soon as she sees a Ring Pop, she thinks she's getting one, even if it's on a package of a Liquid IV. And I love her for that dedication. You can stay better hydrated this summer thanks to Liquid IV's Hydration Multiplier Sugar-Free Ring Pop. Just one stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates more than water alone. Powered by LIV Hydroscience, an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. Tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first purchase with code NGL at checkout. That's 20% off your first purchase with code NGL at liquidiv.com. One of my favorite parts of summer is going down the shore, setting myself up at the beach and staying there for hours on end. But with that comes the need for major eye protection that not only makes me feel good, but looks good too. So whenever I'm looking for my next pair of sunglasses, I always go to Sunglass Hut. Sunglass Hut has a wide range of brands and styles that fit any mood you're in. I love Ray-Bans. I love them so much. I always get the same pair. I like the pair that's squared off at the bottom, or the Erica shades. The Erica ones are so lightweight and they come in so many different colors, and you can get polarized lenses, which I'm convinced when you put on polarized sunglasses that your eyes go, it's just my personal experience. Plus, Sunglass Hut offers a premium shopping experience you won't get anywhere else with expert guidance from shade experts. I need help because, as you can tell, I am not a stylish person, but the experts at Sunglass Hut can tell you and lead you in the right direction to make the most fashionable choice. Visit Sunglass Hut and find your perfect pair of shades for summer. Sunglass Hut. Own your moment. Checking Allstate first could save you hundreds on car insurance. Not checking the girls' school emails before packing lunches? Apparently, it's a half day. And I didn't need to put energy into one more thing. Yeah, so check Allstate first. It could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois. Now, one way I know you're showing your daughter how badass you are is by being a working mom and doing what you love.
Yeah.
Has she been able to see you in action on the set?
So I filmed a romance movie and she was on set with me every day. And it was really funny because she would like watch the monitor and know it was me. She would knew it was me. And I just literally would like walk off of a take, grab her, walk off of a take, grab her again, take her outside, go for walks. Any 10 minutes I had with her, I was with her constantly. I did not miss a feed. Like I based my whole day around every single feed for her. So, and my husband the same. So and he was producing the film. So for us, like we just tag teamed constantly. And then the other day I popped her in, like her little stationary, walker thing. And, I was like, I wonder what she'd do if I just put like Enola Holmes on. So I put it on. And she was like, she's really not interested in screens. Like she doesn't care. Like she doesn't grip to a screen the way I think most children do. And I think it's great, but it's also like, you don't love my work. But anyway, so I like put the film on and she was like, and then she just like, she heard my voice and she just like, it was my voice. Like, I think Mummy looks different sometimes, but like my voice like she was like, that's her voice. And I think Enola really sounds like me. So she was like, oh, that's Mum. And she couldn't take her eyes off the screen. But she did when every other actor went on the screen. She lost focus. She was like, this is boring. And
she was like, I'm not here for you.
I know. And I was like, this is like Henry Cavill. But I do think,
she's like, no, I can't.
No. But I do think, I think it's a pretty amazing thing to be able to, I look back on my childhood and everything was filmed. I think that's kind of an amazing thing to be able to say. I can't believe that I'm able to show her what I was like when I was 10 years old. Like I was in NCIS when I was 8 years old. I think it's hilarious to be able to be like, that was me, and to be able to reflect on that. There are so many things, even my husband's like, you were in that. And I'm like, yeah. And then we watch it back and I'm just like, I can't believe that I was so young. And like, you got a 6-year-old. I mean, I started when I was 8, but just to think like she could, that's possible is it's kind of amazing. And I think, to be able to have that for her to look at, should she even be interested, which I'm totally welcoming her not to be,
but that is so beautiful that you basically have a time capsule of you.
Yeah.
That she will get to have forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
it's so amazing.
I know myself, like, I really can't believe I get to just like do that. And by the way, some of the things I want to die. Some of the things, like some of the interviews I've done, I'm like, okay, who needed to like rein her in? Like, Millie, shut up. And that also haunts me. So it's really give and take. My digital footprint is really, I was a flat earther at like 12 and I'm like, get off a live stream, bitch. Like, what are we doing? And now I'm like, oh my God. So I had a phone, and that was the problem with me, is that I definitely had a phone. It sucks that like literally the whole world got to see it. But at the end of the day, I have really, really thick skin, and I really have never cared. Like a lot of people have a lot to say about, oh, you got married too young, you had a baby too young. You did this, you did that. Why are you wearing that? Why do you look like that? I'm at a point where like, I don't care about myself. I don't care what you say about me. I'm very used to it. It's like growing up and like, with that, it's second nature to you. However, I do have a problem about it happening to other young girls. So that's where I really I'm very lucky I have a great support system and a healthier mindset about it. But I'm very aware that others might not. And that's where things have taken a turn for child actors. And so if I can have anything to do with it, I will always call people out on their bullshit.
It's funny because I feel very strongly the same way. I just don't care what you say about me, because at the end of the day, I know me, you, the people who are making the comments probably don't.
Yeah.
But I do feel like viciously protective of other people. And like when people just want to be outright mean to others, I'm like, no, you can't do that. Like, I'd rather you say it about me than say it about them.
100%.
Because I'll wear it.
Yeah. Proudly.
At the end of the day, I probably don't even have enough time to read your bullshit.
No. Literally.
So,
and also like all of these people, like what I was always like, oh my God, these are all men like saying all of these horrible things.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I figured out like actually quite a few of them were women.
yes.
And I was like, this is vicious. Like you are
Mm-hmm.
vicious. And I don't have time for angry women that just need to feel like they need to bring you down, especially when it comes to motherhood. I've never experienced anything like this. It's like, I could always deal with like the, oh my God, you showed your nipples? Like, what a bitch. Like, and I'm like, whatever. Like, I don't care about that. But when you're like, you didn't put a hat on your baby and it was and I'm like, try putting a hat on my baby. Come on, I dare you. Put a beanie on her. She's literally like, bum, like, you just stay in your own lane. Put a hat on your baby and put a sock in your mouth. Sorry. The English is coming out at me. But it's so true. I'm just like, shut up. Anyway.
I have said a number of times that within motherhood, and here's where people get very confused when I've talked about it previously, is that I feel very strongly that one of the worst things is when people give unsolicited advice. And I'm not talking about the people who give advice that you've asked for or helpful advice.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the people who look at you and in a very judgmental way say to you, that baby should have socks on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I came here with 4 pairs of socks in my pocket. And she had 2 socks on her feet. And we now have 1 sock. We came with,
you do the
with
math,
5 socks.
Cheryl.
5 sets of socks. That's 10 socks, Cheryl. And now I have 1 sock. You tell me how a baby that has 2 feet is going to wear 1 sock.
Yeah. And somehow now it's on her hand. I completely agree with you. When people are like, when they offer, and I luckily feel like I've dealt with it mostly online, but when I do experience it in person, a lot of people will say things like, they'll be like, that's a really big piece. Like, are you going to let her eat that? And I'm like, yeah, like I know what my baby can eat and what she can't, like I will draw the line where I feel is necessary. And I think it's very important. And what my in-laws and my parents taught me is just like, they don't offer me advice. They're very much like, they just let me live. They're really good about that. And they just are like, but then they'll say like, oh my God, I love the way you do that. And I'm like, okay, like I get that. I need validation. It's helpful to hear that I did something good, but they're very much like, we hated that. We're not going to then be the parents to do that. So I'm really happy it like traveled.
That's so nice that that's your network, that's who's closest to you, is that you're experiencing that.
Yeah.
Because I know that that's not the case for everybody.
No.
I luckily am in the same situation where my parents and my in-laws are very good about like, you guys are the parents, you guys choose how things go.
Yeah.
But it is crazy to hear the stories of people who, when I think about the like horror stories of people sharing unnecessary advice, I think about it as strangers, and some people are getting it in-house. Now, I do want to circle back to your new movie really quick because it comes out on July 1st. Mm-hmm. And so we have a little bit of time here. And so I just was wondering if you can give away any spoilers. And if you do, we'll just bleep them.
Okay.
What are you most excited for fans to see in Enola Holmes 3?
Oh my God. Okay. We're going to bleep it out?
We'll bleep it. Tell me everything.
Okay. I'm most excited for fans to see Enola. I'm really excited about that. Really excited about some of the new actors on the film and everybody kind of enjoying their characters. And also we filmed in Malta, and I feel like it's have you ever been to Malta, Kylie?
No.
Yeah. Well, it is a very small island, like the tiniest minute island, except it has the most amazing culture. And it's very vibrant, and it has like, we lived there for basically 2 months. And it was just like an amazing experience. You go out, you could go and get Italian food, but then there's a lot of Arabic influence. There's a lot of French influence. It's like kind of amazing. It's like, it feels like a culmination of a lot of like Africa and Europe, and it's really a cool place. And the accent is very specific and niche, and it's a really colorful place. So I really enjoyed that, and I really am excited for people to be like take us out of London for a moment and go to another place. I
can't wait for the real ones to watch this.
Yeah.
It just feels, I mean, I won't touch on your spoiler because we're going to bleep it, but then you can bleep me too. That feels so, I love that.
Yeah. I think it's good because you people are very confused by the fact that me, Millie, I'm really, I encourage all young women and young girls to find their thing, fight for what they believe in, stand up, on their own 2 feet and do it on their own. And yet I will also encourage you to ask for help, to love others, to love deeply, and find your person. And if that person is your best friend, your aunt, your grandmother, my person was my nan, like she was my everything. And to find your other person in which Jake and I started in in a friendship, but then it, grew. And I feel like in a lot of ways, the story kind of runs parallel through my life, in that I was feeling like I really wanted to be independent on my own and really do my own thing. And it didn't mean that I didn't have to do that, without my best friend.
Now, I do want to ask you some more about Stranger Things. The final season came out at the end of the year. How are you feeling now, several months later?
Feeling really... oh my gosh, I don't know if I've done an interview since then, because I'm like, have I even spoken about it? I cried for most of January. I had a bit of just a lull in who I was. Like it
feels like grieving.
Yeah. And I think what was hard is that I knew what was happening. I knew the end, and I couldn't tell anyone. And I wore black the whole press tour because of the funeral of her. And yet I didn't feel it as much until everyone else found out. And then feeling everyone else's grief made me like, oh, like it was too much. And then I just immediately started calling every cast member, you're still gonna be in my life, right? I was really, really scared that I was it was over. And I just kept crying.
That is multiple layers of grief.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I finally felt like I came out of it toward the end of January. I was I had to delete, because I re-downloaded Instagram because I really wanted to see what people were saying about Elle and her story and da-da-da. And then I had to delete it because it was making me too sad. And so I think toward the end of January, I had to stop talking about it, in my random conversations, because it made me too emotional. And also now all I ever get is, I used to get, oh, are you 11 from Stranger Things? And now I get people saying that they believe she's still alive. So it's a really beautiful, which also just evokes a lot of emotion for me. So
what you guys created with Stranger Things was incredible. I mean, you don't need me to tell you this. I'm pretty sure everybody tells you this, but what you guys created is incredible. And the great thing about it is that even though the show is tied up in again, a neat little bow.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I would say maybe it's not tied up in a neat little bow, because you still get that wonder of what is.
Yeah.
But you guys created something that is so incredible, that evoked so many emotions out of people, that had people on the edge of their seat waiting for the episodes to drop. You guys did that, and it went all the way through, which I think is such an incredible accomplishment. I think so many times you've seen a show that sort of like gets a big fan following and then sort of like it draws out so long that people are like, well, I didn't watch that last season or I didn't watch this. People were on the edge of their seat until the minute you guys finished. And that's so impressive.
Yeah, I mean, the fans, it's crazy to think that the fans stayed for that long and were so dedicated despite the years that were sometimes in between the seasons. But I think it's the cast. Like we together, everybody individually had such an important role to play. And, I almost all the time meet people that are like, I loved this character because they made me feel like brave and now I want to be this and now I want to be this. And I think it's really cool. And then I majority of the time get young girls. And I'm talking, sometimes 6-7 years old. And I truly was like, if they come up to me and they'll say, can I be a superhero like you? And I'm like, that's like what you see me as and then I'm like, it's kind of amazing because for me, like there's my character's so layered and it's so complex. And is she really a superhero? And they're just, that's all they see. And I think it's really cool to be able to be that for some, young girl that, is watching it probably because she's not meant to be and she's on the stairs like Wyatt, but that's what she sees and that's cool.
But that's it's really cool to think that, and I don't know if you feel this way, but having young girls, when I get to see like even just their, like my nieces, when they interact with them who are like teenage girls, the different women in their life who interact with my daughters, who they see and idolize and see what they do and how they impact their lives. Like that's so exciting for me.
Yeah.
And you get to do that on like this very high level.
Yeah.
Does having a daughter of your own almost drive that home even more of like, I know that you've always been like a women supporting women and making sure that like we're uplifting other women, which I cannot get behind enough.
Yeah.
But does that like, do you feel the weight of that you are influencing young women in a way that I would personally love to have someone being a role model for my kids?
Yeah, I think I always felt it. Like I felt the responsibility of that. Sometimes it was great. Sometimes it was really overwhelming because I was like, I feel like I can't make a mistake. However, now having a daughter, I'm like, every child I meet, I see her in them.
I cannot thank you enough for coming on. This has been an absolute pleasure, an honor. I know we just talked about it, but I do have to say you are an incredible example of women supporting women, of motherhood. I hope you fucking put your noise canceling headphones on and block out all the haters because that thick skin is doing well for you. And you shouldn't listen to any of the hate because you are incredible. I'm so happy for you and your husband and your little baby girl. And I wish you guys the best.
Oh my gosh, Kylie, this has been an honor. Like seriously, I love your podcast. And nobody probably ever does this to you, but I just want you to know, like your transparency, the way you are, like I can tell you're speaking from the heart and you're not saying things to be just a certain way in the world. Like your podcast, I feel like is a really great outlet. And I feel like when I'm watching you and other guests, you just allow people to fully speak their truth and who they are. And you're not jaded. And I like love that. And I love that. I feel like this podcast is that. So I think we need more of you in the world. So thank you for having me on.
Thank you so much. And remember, real ones, to go watch Enola Holmes 3 on Netflix on July 1st. And that's it for this episode of Not Gonna Lie. You can find even more clips from my longer conversation with Millie on my YouTube channel on More Shit Monday. I'll be back with a very special Father's Day episode next Thursday. Any guesses on our guest? Hint, it's not who you think it is. Comment, and we'll see if you're right. Follow us on social media at NGL with Kylie for clips throughout the week. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Not Gonna Lie is a Wave original brought to you by DoorDash. Thanks again to the real ones for tuning in.